miracle, really. That's the only way you can explain it. Because if you try to connect them as species, you cannot find a connection. And obviously, it's just pure, genuine love for each other.
News of Owen and Mzee's friendship quickly spread around the world. People from all over came to love Owen, who had endured so much yet never gave up, and Mzee, who became Owen's friend when he needed one the most.
The public reaction has been very surprising. Initially, we just simply had a photograph in the newspaper, but from that single photograph, we had thousands of people coming down to Haller Park to see this amazing miracle, a hippopotamus and a tortoise. We thought it would last maybe a month. And when it went beyond a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, people realized that it isn't just a one-off thing. It's actually a very strong bond and a strong relationship between these two animals.
It's bigger than us, really. It's bigger than anything we could ever think of or imagine.
You know, maybe when you're lost and sort of ill, a friend's a friend.
Eventually, Haller Park staff allowed another tortoise into the enclosure, a young female called Toto. She too seemed to understand that although he had the power to crush her like an egg, Owen's heart was good. Perhaps she'd already seen the way he treated Mzee and recognized it as genuine affection. But when the staff wanted to take a closer look at Mzee's shell to discuss repairs, Owen became fiercely protective. After being roped in the sea, he rarely trusted humans.
It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. So here, if you put a patch there, just that shape, and then you put the resin on top.
Okay.
Yeah? But before we actually let it dry, you have to make a nice groove, following the shape of that thing. So that gives it some flexibility to the shell.
Yeah.
All right? Here. Go, stop. No. Stop it now. The reaction from Owen has been tremendous. It's very, very protective of Mzee. We just have to have Mzee away from Owen, because working with Owen in the same pen as Mzee, it's not an easy task. It's very protective.
The staff at Haller Park knew that over time the relationship could bring problems. So they turned to another hippo living there, a fully grown lone female called Cleo, who lost her only partner 7 years ago.
We're introducing Owen to Cleo to ensure that as he gets bigger and bigger, he doesn't become a threat to Mzee and Mzee's safety.
She has been on her own for a long time and she's not happy on her own. And hippos are social animals and really we need to give her a companion. Having that opportunity to build a new enclosure for the two of them, we can now do really a nice hippo enclosure with a lot of grass where they can graze, with ponds, which I hope is going to be a place where they can be happy from a habitat point of view. The plan here is to create a safe enclosure and comfortable enclosure for 2 hippos to live in. At the moment, you can see that there's dredging work going on. They've been extending the pond. The idea is that Cleo will come in and live on this side initially, and Owen and Mzee will come in and live on this side. So we'll have a fence that separates them along this side here. And when they get used to each other, then eventually we can remove the fence and they can intermingle and live together. She actually responds to her name when you call it.
Really? That's amazing.
Cleo! 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 Oh, she really does. Yeah. She's very, very friendly. Cleo! Cleo! Cleo!
Cleo, I think they will be very happy to see the Owen, because Cleopatra is alone, maybe suffering to staying alone, but I hope they will be happy when they meet an Owen.
So this is a DVD about a hippo introduction at Toledo Zoo in the States, when they introduce a full-grown female hippo to a baby female hippo, I think, also.
How old is she?
About 9 months or something like this. Yes, the scenes in that introduction in the zoo looked quite scary. It would be different, because this is a different set of circumstances, and the hippos are in different ages and different conditions. Cleo's been living on her own. Owen lives with the tortoise. Owen is much older than that hippo was when it was introduced, and I believe he'll be able to fend for himself a bit more actively than that one was able to.
If we do it slowly and we give them time to get used to one another, and maybe use the dung of one another, put the dungs into one another's enclosures, they have the smell, they can sit one to another across the fence. I'm not very concerned because Cleo has in the past adopted another baby hippo. She's obviously in need of companionship. She's started carrying around logs on her back, and she's behaving in a very maternal way towards inanimate objects. It doesn't mean that we don't have to be cautious, because a very slight risk could have a huge impact. So it has to be done incredibly carefully.
The way we've designed his enclosure, he'll be able to move between his section and Cleo's section, and in his section we'll have Mzee. So it won't be a separation of, oh, we're taking Mzee from you and taking it to another hippo. It will be a gradual process, and he'll be able to choose. It would be very ideal if, at the end, him and Mzee could not separate and remain friends and everything, but it would be difficult to see how that would come about with Cleo in the picture.
Hopefully we can form a bond between Owen and Cleo, which would be really a nice solution. And the ideal solution would be that they both are tolerant to Mzee at the same time. So a relationship which has created us a lot of interest, hope it carries on.
I'm very worried, but we will see. We will see what is happening. But I hope we don't have any problem. We will have solved the problem.
These two animals, maybe they have that spirit of love. Yeah, you know, it's not very easy for one to stay with another, but now these two have managed.
I think it gives people hope that these relationships can happen in this day and age, and the world's breaking down, so to speak, all around us, and the horrible things that are happening, that something so beautiful can still happen.
I mean, if a turtle can go together with a hippo, maybe a Christian can go together with a Muslim.
When you need her most.
Science can't always explain what the heart already knows. Our most important friends sometimes find us when we least expect them. We don't know how this story will end, but as Owen and Mzee have already shown us, anything is possible.
Usiwe na shaka, usiwe na hofu, umelalia kitanda cha miba, kikombe kimejaa uchungu. Ya Mungu ni mengi, ya Mungu ni mengi. Love has a way of finding you when you need her most. When you're in a corner, hiding from your ghost. When you're much too scared, listen with your soul. You will hear her call you from across the ocean.